We all love and worship Mr. John Ford. His best films send us to the places promised by youthful daydreaming. He knows how to make manifest the magic of a moment. Ford was at one time a candidate for the most technical film director alive. His filmic tenacity directly inspired Orson Welles' confidence in helming Citizen Kane. The point is, John Ford, though his work almost appears quaint nowadays, evokes a traditional cinematic purity, the beauty of which launched 1,000 ships of 1,000 autos each. John Ford did not just invent America. In the context of the sound era, he invented narrative filmmaking as we know it, though I'm also tempted to credit Michael Curtiz with sharing that esteem. Today I will be discussing the culmination of Ford's career, the 1966 picture titled Seven Women, starring Anne Bancroft, Margaret Leighton, Flora Robson, and Sue Lyon. Seven Women is set in rural China, the year 1935. The narrative takes place amongst a remote Christian missionary outpost as Anne Bancroft's Dr. Cartwright arrives at their request for a resident medical professional. Cartwright might be considered a tad modern or liberated for this extremely traditionalist environment. Cartwright does not mean to be rude, although her smoking habit is considered unbecoming, as is her occasional drinking. Her wearing of pants, her short haircut, and lack of religious faith, these do not help either. Margaret Leighton's Agatha Andrews is unhappy with Cartwright's behaviour, perhaps entirely out of fear that it will influence the younger missionary Emma Clark, portrayed by Sue Lyon. This film concerns the troubled relationships amongst the mission, although they are soon cursed with greater priorities as rogue warlord militias begin ransacking the lands nearby, and everyone at the site fears that they might be next. John Ford closes his curtains to maximally display Seven Women, presenting not a grandiose epic, nor populist patriotism, but rather an intimate religious drama in the vein of The Informer, The Fugitive, or The Quiet Man, and, like those three films, an evocative, enthralling, moving masterpiece. Ford's Catholicism was key to the passion imbued in his greatest films, and the fact that he chose to retire from directing after the completion of Seven Women suggests, I think, what his favoured priorities as an artist were, and it lies in these more spiritually inclined narratives. And the cockatoos agree. Ford was an incredibly technically able film director, and he appeared to love to show it off throughout the 1930s and 1940s, although by the 1950s and 1960s, he began helming much more scaled back, rather personal films, at least more often than he used to. I am at a loss for words in describing the majesty, the romance of John Ford's cinematic trajectory. Something about his choosing to finish up on a religiously motivated drama intent on exploring the dynamics of female characters within the 20th century thus far, composing the most satiating aesthetics achievable amongst extensive interior dialogue scenes. John Ford gives his audience with the most immediate and digestible of film experiments, and one executed so eloquently, so assertively, and so distinctively cinematic, without stretching beyond the intuitive capabilities of pre-existing competitive art forms. Seven Women is sublime.